Good people die, but death cannot kill their great names.
Football be our friend Christian Atsu.
Christian Atsu.
Because anyone can school and can meet me this year.
Yeah, that's the baby. That was the shop.
Christian Atsu.
Christian Atsu.
Christian Atsu.
The inspiring journey of Christian Atsu from the humble beginnings to becoming a top footballer has left a lasting impact on and off the pitch. So join us in this video as we explore his history and celebrate his legacy. In 1997-98 thereabout, Atsu's senior brother returned to their village, Ada Foah, with a mission to bring his younger twin siblings, Christian Atsu and Christina Atupi, as well as their mother, to Accra so they could start going to school. They arrived in Accra only to realize that the brother lives in a wooden structure at Medina.
I have done wow. All my book and curtains new wire there. No carrying I'm in there. I know I'm 9 years.
In fact, life was not easy for their senior brother. Yet, he wanted the best for his siblings, and that is education. So, the 8-year-old twins, Christian and Christina, were enrolled at Nkwantana Primary School, which is right behind the Medina market. The mother also started petty trading to generate some revenue to support their education.
My mommy be turn more money or be car benku, and now incofobi pray a choir. Now my mommy yes.
And just like every other young boy, Atsu enjoyed playing football. So he would always join the area boys to play football almost every day. His dribbling ability and skill on the ball was way ahead of his playmates. Few years down the line, one of his brothers who was playing for Jawara FC at Achimota introduced him to his coach to recruit him into the under-12 team. The coach did not hesitate, but his mother, on the other hand, was worried on how Christian would be able to balance the football and his education. Since the family was poor, Atsu often had to walk or jog all the way from Medina to Achimota for training sessions. But this turned out to be a bit of advantage for Atsu because it somehow helped him to develop better stamina and speed than most of his teammates. Atsu, being aware of the financial situation at home, he will not leave the entire financial burden on his mother and senior brother. He will also do some pack.
Do you know pack? It's a movement. If you move, you pass here, you pass here, you pass here, pack. Then you elaborate yourself together. Yeah, we don't steal.
Maton copper, machibe lasa. Na miton ejanso. Esi say dia. Obi oton dokunne dia mana ya ton.
You pass a roadside. Somebody can buy this and that. Oh, please, you can get your coins to come and settle your family.
Fast forward to 2005, a friend informed him about an ongoing justified tournament organized by the Gomoah Fetteh Feyenoord Academy, but Atsu was reluctant to go and participate, so the friend forcefully dragged him all the way to the pitch and forced him to play. His dribbling ability and speed impressed the organizers so much so that they instantly offered him a deal to join the Feyenoord Academy. And once again, the poor mother was very concerned about his education because even transportation money from Medina to Achimota is always a problem. And now, Gomoah Fetteh, Atsu assured his mother that it is not going to be a problem at all because Feyenoord has their own boarding school facility which starts from primary to JSS 3. This means that he will have free education, he will enjoy free food, and also have free hostel accommodation. 2 years later, while Atsu was at the under-14 side of Feyenoord, their senior team had to play against the national under-20 team. Therefore, Atsu was called to join the senior team for that particular match, but unfortunately, he was put on a bench. Feyenoord was down 1-0, and around the 82nd minute, the coach finally substituted for Christian Atsu to go in, and within minutes, Atsu scored a goal to draw the scoreline. Fast forward, finally Atsu completed the JSS 3, and since Feyenoord's education facility is only up to Form 3, he now has to further his education at a new secondary school. Now, it has been a long while since Atsu saw his family, so he decided to come to Medina to pay them a visit. Upon arrival, he realized that the wooden structure that the family has been staying in all these years has been demolished, and his family is nowhere to be found. He panicked, but luckily he was using a young phone by then, so he called his brother. No answer. He called again and again. No answer. What has happened to his family? A few minutes later, his phone started ringing. It was a strange number. He picked the call and it was his brother. He gave Atsu the very good news that he was not actually expecting. The news was that they have relocated to Legon. Wow, Legon. From a wooden structure in Medina to Legon, Atsu quickly got the direction to the place, and when he got there and saw the new apartment that they were staying in, he was shocked.
Me buy na uncompleted building and a toilet and on the bed
But what can he do?
Man,
Nothing at this moment. And this is why I recommend Rainbow Homes.
Today's video sponsors. Rainbow Homes will actually help you by paying your rent advance on your behalf to the landlord, so that you can pay it back to Rainbow Homes on a month-by-month basis. Whether you are renewing your old rent or you are renting a new place, all you have to do is to click the link in the description, submit the required details for verification, get your approval within 3 days, and be like me, rent your dream home on a monthly basis.
Now, back to the story. And after briefing the family about how things are going on in his life, football career, and education, the mother quickly realized that Gomoah Fetteh Feyenoord was more interested in the benefit they would get out of Atsu's talent over his personal education development. Therefore, she decided to stand on her feet to get Atsu out of fire. And luckily, around that same period, another football team, Shatta FC, was chasing after Atsu. They offered him a flexible routine that would not interfere too much with his education. Therefore, the mother agreed for him to join the team. So it was at Shatta FC that this talent agent Patrick Vivares recruited a 17-year-old Christian to Portugal in 2010 to play for the FC Porto. And once again, the senior brother paid for his passport, visa, and other necessary expenditures for the trip. And within 2 years of playing for the FC Porto junior team, he was awarded the most valuable player in the tournament. Therefore, the senior side of FC Porto called him up, and once again, he ended up on the bench. However, through a turn of events, Atsu would earn the nickname Mini Hook. That is because they played against a team from Germany and won 11-0. Atsu's performance that day was so epic. From there, he will go on to lead the team to win the Portuguese league, and as a result, he got called to play for the Portugal national team. After his successful run with FC Porto, Atsu moved to the English Premier League club Chelsea on the 1st September 2013. But before moving to Chelsea, Atsu played for the Ghana national team during the 2013 Africa Cup of Nations, where he scored the second goal of a 3-0 win in the last group stage match against Niger, which put Ghana into the quarter-finals. The following year, Atsu played for Black Stars in the 2014 World Cup. And at the end of the 2015 Africa Cup of Nations tournament, Atsu was awarded with both Player of the Tournament and the Best Goal of the Tournament. It was around that period that this guy made a social media post about the death of his father and how his education is hanging in the balance. Luckily for him, Atsu saw the post and slid into his DM and promised him that he will support him financially until he completes school and gets a good job. While playing for Everton in the English Premier League on the 15th of March in the match against Newcastle, Atsu came off the bench with only 5 minutes remaining, and within those 5 minutes, Atsu provided an assist to Ross Barkley for Everton's third goal. The match ended with the scoreline 3-0. So Newcastle was like, damn it, we need to get this guy in our team. And lo and behold, come 2016, they signed him. And the interesting part of the story is that in his debut for Newcastle, they put Atsu on the bench. However, Atsu came off the bench at the 61st minute, and once again, within some few minutes, he provided an assist to Alexander Mitrovic to score their 5th goal. When the season ended, Christian came to Ghana to check up on his family, and as a true Christian who takes the Matthew chapter 25 verse 35 very seriously, he proceeded to visit the Nsawam prison to do some donations, and also went on to play football with the prison inmates on the 23rd of June 2016. Based on what Atsu saw and experienced inside the walls of the Nsawam prison, he started thinking to himself, what can I do in a bit of a different way to make some lasting impact in the lives of prisoners? Atsu kept thinking and thinking and thinking, but he couldn't come up with any innovative ideas. But luckily, one day he was scrolling through Facebook and came across a video from Crime Check TV. The video tells the story of a guy. Let's call him John. John has been sentenced to 18 months imprisonment because he borrowed 4,500 from a friend to pay for his child's broken neck surgery. John promised to pay back the loan after 30 days. However, just 4 days later, the friend came back that he needs the money now to go and marry his long-time girlfriend, or else a certain rich UK burger will snatch the girl from him. And because John couldn't get the money for him, the friend called his uncle, who is a senior police officer, to arrest John. And barely a week after his arrest, John's child passed away. The senior police officer proceeded to use his influence to twist the case to get John to be jailed 18 months. And on the day that the wife heard that John has been jailed, out of shock, she collapsed and also passed away. This story touched Atsu so much that he quickly got in touch with Crime Check TV to help get John out of the prison and also give him capital to start a business. From there, he will start advocating for the non-custodial sentencing bill to be passed into law to reduce congestions in prisons nationwide. Here's the thing. If the non-custodial bill becomes a law, it means that if someone steals something like a chicken, TV remote, plantain, shoe, accessible, goat, whatever, you name it. Instead of sending the person to prison, he can be made to do communal labor such as sweeping the streets, cleaning the gutters, you name it, any mundane work for a certain period of time as punishment.
Christian Atsu, wama yakotua omunyina obiara ogina ha yakotua ne fine.
The testimonies of his charity and philanthropic activities cannot fit into one single video. But in a nutshell,
he is the brain behind our foundation's ex-convict reintegration project. This initiative has become necessary because of the huge gap between exiting the prison and finding work for ex-convicts to do. Apart from paying for their release, he is also finding some work for them to do to enable them feed their families and children.
Atsu supported a vast number of individuals by sponsoring their education and health care. In addition to that, he supported many small local football clubs and players by donating football-related items, and he also extended his hands to connect with arms around the child charity organization to start building a school for orphan children in the local community in Senya Breku. In addition to school building, he also donated funds for the construction of new health center in his hometown, Ada Foah. On the issue of health, during the COVID era, Atsu made sizable donations to support the COVID relief effort in Ghana. However, it was within that same COVID era that he lost his mother. Now we are in 2023 and Atsu is playing for the hatayspor club in Turkey. One day he approached the coach and asked him, "Can I leave if I find a new team?" The coach accepted his request, Therefore, Atsu started making his arrangement to leave Turkey permanently. Fast forward, he will go on to book a one-way flight ticket to leave Turkey to go join his wife and children in UK. The plane was scheduled to depart at 11 p.m. on February 5th, the same day that his team has a match with Kasimpasa SK. So the idea was to join the flight as soon as the match is over. And as you may have already noticed earlier in this video, Atsu has a track record of scoring last-minute winning goals. And once again, at the 97th minute of the match, Christian scored a free kick to secure a 1-0 win for his team. So in the spirit of joy, excitement and jubilation, Atsu told the coach, "I will not go, I will stay here." Therefore, he cancelled the flight and went on to jubilate with his teammates until around 3:30 a.m. before going back to his apartment, which is on the 9th floor of an 11-story building. And barely 20 minutes after getting home, a massive devastating earthquake hit the region, which resulted in the 11-story building, among many other buildings, crashing down. Several days went by and Atsu could not be found. This got his family, relatives, friends and the general Ghanaian populace very worried. Different contradicting news concerning his whereabouts started spreading across both the international and Ghanaian media outlets. And eventually, 12 days later, on the 18th February, Atsu was rescued, but not alive. This begs the question of, are good deeds not enough to guarantee us long life? Why should such a terrible thing happen to such a kind person? Why? Why? Oh.
We know with you, and we will get